So I'm going to jump into the team deathmatch queue. Average waits for matchmaking right now for me have been around about a minute to a minute and a half, sometimes a lot faster, sometimes a bit longer. I will say right now that overall the quality of play, unless you're playing with friends in deathmatch, is going to be a little better. I've had some issues with matchmaking sticking me up against a much higher level group of folks, and they just roll the whole server. It can be pretty brutal at times, but it's still a lot of fun. I prefer the team side of it so that you and your team can work together, but standard deathmatch free-for-all, it's classic Quake 3, and it's a lot of fun. So we just found a match pretty quick. We're ready up and jump in the game. So here is our team on the right, enemy team on the left, and we're voting. Yeah, Blood Covenant's a pretty good map. There's only a few available. Alright, so we're in. Now, the graphics of the game, I've got everything maxed out on Ultra. I've got the render scaler at 200%, and it's not bad, but the textures just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to blow me away for how low my FPS is. I mean, it's not bad looking. I'm sure there's a lot more detail and things in the cloth movements and the armor structure that I'm not seeing, but it still just doesn't blow me away as, wow, I should be getting terrible FPS. So right now I'm averaging between 60 and 80 FPS on this portion of the map, which isn't great. Yeah, I'm recording at the same time, but I have a hex core with hyper-threading CPU, so that's not at all going to stress me out with this recording. You can see the characters are pretty unique. The game is pretty fast-paced. I've got an average speed character, so that's not too bad. I want to talk about their special abilities. So if you can see at the bottom center of my screen, my special ability is charged right now for this character. So this ability is either throw kind of a frag grenade type of thing that will detonate, or you can throw it and then you can teleport to it, which is a great flanking maneuver and really changes a lot of the gameplay up. But it can also be kind of confusing if you're playing 5 or 6 different players of the same class, then you're all going to end up teleporting around each other and it can just be a cluster. So I'm in game now. I'm going to do terrible as I'm trying to talk, and I've got the in-game audio turned way down. But it's very reminiscent of classic Quake, and it's very difficult for me to try and chat and pay serious attention to it. You can do a bit of a strafe jumping, which is great, so you can try to go a little bit faster than you otherwise would. So let me just swipe the gun I want. Some of the gun balancing still needs to be tweaked. Some of the lower end guns really do squat for damage, which I guess is fairly reminiscent of Quake 3. Some of the higher end guns were pretty heavily unbalanced in the last session, and they've kind of fixed some of that in this version. The lightning gun was just atrocious in the previous version of the game, and they kind of fixed a lot of that. Use my special ability to get away from her. The nail gun right now I think is probably the worst. The nails are so slow that everybody can just, dang, missed that. Everybody can just kind of walk around it and not even bother to deal with it. That's the railgun coming in at me, and I ate a rocket to the face. So, map design, I like the levels. There's a good dynamic to them. There's a lot of three-dimensional thinking, which is exactly what you want out of a Quake game. I don't know. You can rocket jump. I'm doing terrible. You can rocket jump to Last Justified. You will take some damage from it, but it's not going to be the end of the world. They still do have the quad damage. That's really the only power-up or rune that's still in the game, which is a good one to keep. I am not going to take it. Just going to keep that guy from getting it.
Your team has the quad.
And I do like the ability to strafe jump again. That's a very good ability. So I'm going to shut up for a minute and actually try to play the game, so I can show you something other than me being last on the server. Usually I'm about second or first with my current ranked players. But this is not me shutting up and playing, which I said I would do. Those Sands of Times things recharge your special abilities. Meleeed. That's terrible.
In the air. Quad spawn. 15 seconds. Quad spawn. Your team has the quad.
She's good.
Man when he's down.
That's whoever it is.
That's pretty low.
Man.
Maybe my kingdom's finally.
What the heck are they doing? Railgun. The railgun was kind of hit or miss in the last two beta events. It would either be ridiculous or not enough.
Disgraced yourself.
5-minute warning.
Much going on.
Careful.
Focus.
In TF2 and other games, I can do pretty well with the sniper weapons, but in this game, I am just terrible at the railgun. I try not to use it because I'm so bad with it. Although I'm not really showing myself off to be good at anything.
Quad spawn. 15 seconds. Quad spawned. Enemy has the quad.
Oh, it was a bad move.
Give a man when he's down. That's pretty low. In the air.
What the? Oh, quad's back.
Sometimes the world doesn't need another hero. It needs a monster.
Man, every time her shots are right at my feet.
This place.
Showstopper. Revenge.
Why are you torturing me like this?
How did that not touch her? I'm glad my team's able to aim. I'm making up for my gaps here.
Quad
Ooh,
spawn.
terrible.
15 seconds.
Suicide.
Floodgates are closed. Gotta find
Quad
another
spawn. Your team has the quad.
Wrong weapon. She cloaked.
Go, you sons of bitches.
Oh, I got lucky.
Shoot with it. Coming at you.
Not even a positive KD.
Focus.
Oh, I walked right into that one.
My kingdoms finally come.
Quad spawn. 15 seconds.
Yeah, that was terrible.
When you've been here this long, nothing and everything makes sense. You've disgraced yourself enough.
You
Stay
win.
down this time.
Alright, so that's a quick look of the round. That was apocalyptically bad on my part, taking last place, but hopefully it gives you an idea of what the game is. I'll do another round after I shut the microphone off so I can pay more attention to the game and hopefully not do so terrible.